Okay, well, I think I'm going to get started, and Sheena will just let people in as they come and walk in the door. We'll just be greeting them. So welcome everyone. Thank you for attending. Happy you could be here with us today for another one of our Zoom presentations, which is definitely a new knowledge adventure for all of us to get connected and stay connected. While we're on this presentation, you are muted. And if you have a question, you can sure ask through the chat window. But if you'd like to ask that question again, yourself, without sending it to me, you can go ahead and unmute yourself, and I'm sure Mike would be happy to answer that question to you directly. I want to give you just a brief history about New Knowledge Adventures and how long the program's been together. It's been over 15 years that the volunteers got together to create this learning process, and this was done in Pocatello, a partnership that was with Idaho State University. The volunteers there looked at several different models and decided to create this one. They wanted to make it affordable access. The volunteers are the ones that governs the whole program. The instructors are volunteers, and just like Mike today, he's volunteering his time, his knowledge. The community is all active in trying to give us the wants and desires and classes that they'd like to experience. So we always leave that open, and there will be an evaluation that you're given at the end of this presentation. So if you'll please fill that out and send it back into us and give us ideas of what you think or what you'd like to hear for future presentations. In 2014 is when this all began with Idaho State University in Meridian. And that's when the Treasure Valley and the YMCA all got involved to expand this program. And today we continue to offer these classes even through Zoom, and trying to just give opportunities to seniors so that they can pick up some of the knowledge that possibly we have right here amongst us with everyone that is living close by. And actually, now that we're on Zoom, anyone could get on this class, even if they're not in Idaho. But in 2020, this year, we had decided this was the best way to do it due to the COVID virus. And we are the only Idaho group that offers these online classes. And it, like I said, it is driven by volunteers. The curriculum committee, which I happen to be on, we evaluate any potential possibility for classes. So like I said, we're always looking for a semester at a time. So we're looking for next year. And we are really thankful that we receive all of this from the instructors for free. So thank you very much. Today we have Mike Moroski, who is at the College of Idaho. And the name of the class is Former 49ers Quarterback Discusses Big Time Football at C of I. So the title leads us to believe that Mike has a career that he may briefly tell us about, but I really think his presentation is going to be about what he is doing at the C of I. He played in the NFL for 8 years, and he has a career of 31 years coaching experience at the college level. In 2013, he was hired to resurrect the College of Idaho football team. A few of the things that I know about Mike is that my father-in-law, Buzz Bonaminio, was one of the ones that wanted football back at the College of Idaho. So he's a strong advocate that we have Mike Moroski, the coach of the Yotes. I even have my Yotes shirt on today to represent the College of Idaho.
Nice.
Mike, take it away and tell us about your big dream that's happening at the College of Idaho.
Well, thanks so much. Just want to welcome everybody. I'm glad to be here, and hopefully we can keep things moving here, and lots of exciting things still happen at the College of Idaho. I love what I do, and So hopefully there's some football fans on here. I don't know if you watched the game last night, but a young guy from Boise State led the Denver Broncos to a victory, and just reminded me of some of the highlights that I've had in my career. So we'll start off with a little video by way of introduction.
You know, last weekend, New York Giant rookie quarterback Daniel Jones made his NFL debut, and it was a good one, too. Jones rallied the Giants out of an 18-point hole to knock off the Tampa Bay Bucks and marked the second largest comeback by an NFL quarterback, making his first career start. So, what does that have to do with us here in the Treasure Valley? Well, only one other player in NFL history overcame a greater deficit in his first start, and he's actually the head coach out at the College of Idaho. Mike Moroski was selected in the 6th round of the 1979 NFL Draft by the Atlanta Falcons. He appeared in 17 games over his first 4 seasons, but his first start didn't come until 1983. Filling in for the injured starter, Moroski found himself under center against the Green Bay Packers. In the second quarter, the Falcons were down 21-0, but Coach Mo got hot. Check out this play. He finished 22 of 35 for 302 yards, and he tossed a pair of touchdowns, including this Hail Mary right before halftime. Atlanta would go on to win 47-41 in overtime, a memory he won't soon forget.
I honestly, Jay, didn't know that I had that record until, you sent me that thing. So, but it is kind of cool. It's kind of like throwing a touchdown pass to Jerry Rice. No one can ever take that away from me. But my friends will still tease me and say, why'd you only throw it to him one time? So anyway, it is fun. I have a good time. It's still football is the love of my life, and it's really, really fun to still be involved in that lore, so to speak.
All right, so we move on. I went to high school in Novato, California, which is in Marin County, just north of San Francisco. Went from there to UC Davis, and that was in 1975 that I graduated from high school, and then also began in that fall at Davis. After my Davis career, was drafted by the Atlanta Falcons in 1979. And was there for 6 years, and then bounced around a little bit. My last year was in 1986 with the 49ers, which was really, really a lot of fun. And being able to play for Coach Walsh, that kind of stuff will come up later. All these things had impact in my coaching career. After I finished playing, I went back to Davis and started coaching. I also got my teaching credential and master's in educational psychology. And I was, as you can see, I was in Davis for a long, long time. That's where my wife and I, and by the way, my wife, Kathy, is the real love of my life. Football is second behind her, but professionally speaking, I feel very fortunate to have been involved in football for as long as I have, and have met the great people that I have, and feel like I'm the luckiest guy in the world, being able to work with young guys and a bunch of great coaches over the course of my career. Coached every position on offense at Davis, was offensive coordinator for a number of years, and then in 2013 became the head coach at the C of I. It was, I'm not sure if it was a tough decision or not to come, but 2 people figured prominently in my taking the job. One was my dad, Hank Moroski, who's still hanging in there, 95 years old. He was the principal of a high school that was across town from Novato High School, where I went to school. And he just firmly believed that this could be one of the most satisfying things that I'd ever done. And he started a high school from the ground up, and loved hiring every teacher and being involved to a very, very high degree in every aspect of the high school. So he was the first influence. And then my old college coach, who's in the Hall of Fame and unfortunately passed away 5 years ago from cancer at a too young of an age, but he also said, Mike, this might be the best thing you've ever done. And to be honest, both my dad and Coach Soker's words have really borne out to be true. I've enjoyed every minute of it. I'm not quite sure if I knew everything that I was getting into, but it's been a really a fun run. I love the people of Caldwell and love the community aspect of the program. If you've never ever been to a game in Caldwell for the College of Idaho, it'd be great to see you there. We started off and won our first couple games, which was back in 2014, and that was miraculous and fun, and got my first ice bath, and things like that were made it special. And we had some real, a majority of guys were from Idaho, the players that is, and we had no business winning games really, but we figured out a way, and it was fun for me to work through all those challenges. And then we continued to get better and better. And then this last season, we were the Frontier Conference champions, which I know that many people who are instrumental in bringing the program back knew that was possible for city of Caldwell and the surrounding communities and the College of Idaho. And it was really fun to be a part of that with those people and all the people at the college that helped make football a new reality in this day and age. So there I am, shouting. We have fun winning games and like to celebrate, and I love to be around the young guys. So we had a good time that Saturday where we clinched the championship. But how did we build it? My goal is I don't think we're there yet, to build the best college football team in the country. And those are all loaded words, the best college and football team. I take all those things very seriously. We have high aspirations, but college football is a great game, and it's I think we're playing it at the level where it's in its purest form. Maybe there'll be a guy every 5 to 10 years who may have a shot to go pro. We have a couple guys who were pro scouts we're looking at last year, and made it really a lot of fun with pro scouts, NFL scouts at our practices. But we're more about the program. We're more about success in the full orbed sense, where my job is to build young men. Now, having said that, I'm all about football too. I love football, and I want to win football games. So there's no hesitation on my part there. So you see this was our great quarterback of the last 4 years. He actually did sign a professional contract with the Montreal Alouettes in the Canadian Football League. His name is Darius James Peterson, just a fantastic player and a good guy. So the most important characteristics of a college football coach, really number one here, an expert in the game, may come as a surprise, but maybe not. This is a principle from Coach Bill Walsh, who was the 49ers great coach back in 1986 when I played for the 49ers. But he also was the coach of the 49ers that whole decade where they won 4 or 5 Super Bowl championships, and he's widely regarded as maybe the best coach of all time. But he said when asked, and there's all sorts of things, integrity, being a good guy, being a good communicator, being a good motivator, able to get along with people, able to do all these sorts of things. But he unequivocally said the number one most important trait for a football coach is being an expert in the game. And I think that probably goes for whatever field you may be in. You have to know the ins and outs and the details And at least in one major facet of the game, you need to be all in and have an intuitive understanding. You have to have a thirst for knowledge, and you have to really enjoy studying the nuances and details of the game. So that's the number one thing. I'm not sure I'm an expert, but I sure want to be an expert in the game. And I love watching things. I love watching our young guys develop. And I love training our coaches. And that's all part of it. Being a college football coach, there has to be academic credibility. I'm not sure I was the greatest academic or the greatest student. It was the number one priority in my upbringing and family's life. And I credit my parents there. My mom and dad were both educators, as I mentioned. And I think that's very, very important. Raising my own kids, they were all very academically driven, have all been very, very successful. And they put in the hard work. So I credit them. But I have to have credibility as the football coach all across the campus. I have to be able to have a conversation with the drama teacher here at the College of Idaho, who is a very good friend, Joe Golden. He was head of the faculty when I got the job here. And it just so happened one of my sons is a English literature major and very interested in writing screenplays and acting and those sorts of things at down in Hollywood where he lives. I also have to be able to get along with the chemistry professors. Scott Truxa is a neighbor of mine. He's a fantastic chemistry professor here at the college. And I have a couple scientists of my own who are one who's a physician, one who's an engineer, and now works for Nike. And my daughter is a nurse. So I'm just interested in what the professors are doing, how they do it, how I can help them, how my job I think can really, really help the college as a whole. And I think that's very, very important. I think the president that hired me, Marv Henberg, that was very, very important to him, that the incoming coach would not upset the academic mission of the college, but would enhance the academic mission. And I take great pride in that. And let me read those bullets there. That's just some of our things that we utilize here at the College of Idaho: loving people, loving the college, and living with integrity. You know, I'd like to think that I've based my life on those things, and that's just part of who I am. That's who I want our coaches to be. That's who I want our players to be. And I think they have largely embraced that, and it's exciting. Coach in the fullest sense, and that's where the things like teaching and motivating and understanding and selling the program and then being involved with the players and their families from the recruiting, first time we start recruiting them to the day they graduate and even beyond. I think that's all tied up in the word coach. I love being involved with people, trying to help, and again, think we've had a good bit of success, and I'm excited about the future. Understanding the landscape of college football really is, and this is just piggybacking on that last slide, I think football fits in the educational and academic mission of the college. I think it fits extraordinarily well. In fact, I'd go so far as to say that the guys that play for the Yotes at the College of Idaho and perhaps many at UC Davis when I coached there are better off in their professional careers because of football, because of the competitive aspects, because of the team building aspects, because of things that we do every day. So again, I am a proponent of football should be a major part of education. And I think it's not for everybody, but there's other opportunities, but I do think that it's a unique thing that makes the College of Idaho football program unique and different. I believe in that with all my heart. Relational, not transactional. I do think it's all about relationships and building relationships with young men and their families. I mentioned across campus with faculty and administrators and all that sort of thing, but primarily I'm talking about relating with players. I am most interested in their success. I believe my job is to empower them. And the not transactional part there is so many coaches, and not a lot, there's a lot of good people in coaching, but so many, the transactional approach is more of a business approach where, what have you done for me lately? And if you can't do anything for me, then I'm going to get rid of you. And that's a very impersonal approach. And I think that the worst aspects of big time college football are as a result of that transactional approach. However, the very best coaches always have the component where the players are going to be catapulted into life after college and a professional life and family life and everything rolled into one. And it's very, very, I think, fun to have relationships with the young people that I do. So just a couple things to think about there. Recruiting is a big part of what we do. You could put /sales here or marketing. And we do a lot of things. I'll show you some things that we send out to every recruit, that we show them, that we celebrate. And again, I began here with 0 players and 0 coaches. And so it has been a lot of fun to build from the ground up, recruit every family, hire every single coach. And it's very, very important that we get the right coaches here so that we can recruit in a way that's going to help build the program. I am a believer in the 4-year college experience. We will have a transfer here and there, but most of the guys come here as freshmen and stay for 4 or 5 years. The coaches, I have a significant amount of turnover. Not quite every year, but usually every year. And I knew that coming in. I can't pay the guys as much as I would like to, as much as they're worth. So I view this as a real opportunity for them. I don't want them looking on to the next step while they're here. I want them to be all in because I think that's what makes them good and effective coaches. But my coaches should be energetic, enthusiastic, men of character, men of personality. I don't want them all to be like me. For sure, they have to be a lot smarter than I am. And then our recruiting, our players, and we're dealing with 17 and 18-year-old young men who we're recruiting. So we really want to find guys that will fit into our culture, who will buy into the team aspect, will buy into some of the most basic things, but it's not easy to do sometimes, and we take it very seriously. There's times where we will stop recruiting a young man because we don't think that he fits into what we're doing. On the other hand, I do think that I'm very, very invested in the developmental approach to football and recruiting. So just because a kid isn't a straight A student doesn't mean he can't fit into our program. So I try to weigh, will he somehow fit, and will we be able to develop this young man into somebody who we will one day be able to be very proud of, that he was part of the program. So the finding of the guys who fit isn't a template. It's more of our read on who these young men are, and maybe more importantly, who they can be in the future. I often tell the guys, I'll do anything for you. I'll defend you. And I spend a lot of my time defending the football program here at the College of Idaho. And it's my joy, it's my passion. I love doing it. I'm here to help these guys do whatever they want to in their future. And I believe in this great country of ours that you still can do most anything that you set your mind to, if you're willing to work hard enough. And granted, there are difficult things to overcome for everybody, and in some cases, more to overcome. And we can speak about that another time, possibly. But my job is to advocate for my players. And I do it in the past, wanting to learn about them and understand them while they're here at college, and then even after college. I was just talking to a young man yesterday on the phone, trying to get him a job interview. He graduated 4 years ago, I think. And that's very, very important to me, satisfying, I think, the world of this young man, and I'm hopeful that it will work out. So it just doesn't end the day that their playing days are over. I'm invested for life with these guys, and that's, again, part of the real joy of being a coach. Now I'll show you 5 reasons to be a Yote. So it's kind of our marketing and sales approach, and maybe interesting. I'll make a couple comments as we go through here. Now scroll. Hold on. So go up.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
I have a question. When people leave coaching, or no, I shouldn't say coaching. When people leave after they've played college football, do you think their careers lean towards something to do with sports?
Definitely not. It many times does, but not really. So it's more of the transition to really life without sports. But I've been involved with football a long time and have observed a lot of guys. Somehow football never quite leaves you. But in that sense, I think they find other ways to utilize some of those skills and feelings that they've had during their football careers. For some guys, it is very difficult to not have a direct line to football anymore, but things like competitiveness, things like high expectations, I think they serve guys well in the business field and have a number of guys in the business field. Some guys have gone into education and coaching, a bunch of guys in the medical field, medical school, and have, I think, 4 nurses presently. So guys that are really, really serving their communities and becoming pillars in our country, I think. So it is exciting in that sense.
Okay. Yeah.
Any other questions, Maria, on the docket?
Not that I see yet.
Okay. Feel free to bring those questions, anybody who's listening.
Oh, my own personal question, and I was just curious, is what percentage of your players are out of state that, come to College of Idaho from out of state?
Roughly 50%.
Okay, so half.
So it's still probably a simple majority of Idaho kids, and then the rest of them are close by, Nevada, Eastern Oregon, some from over in Western Oregon, a few from Washington, and a number from Northern California. Of course, California is burning as we know it, and so people are fleeing quickly to Idaho. But I have connections in California, obviously. We're looking for the very best guys who fit with what we're doing. but we also know where we are. We're in Idaho, and so it's very, very important for us to be successful recruiting in Idaho. So here, I'll launch into our 5 reasons to become a Yote. So this is our recruiting pitch. We love our fans. We love the energy. The top picture there. Can you see am I on here? Are these pictures being shown?
Yes, they're there.
Okay, great. So this is a post-game celebration after our very first home game, where there was 5,500 people at Simplot Stadium. Really, really an exciting day. So we started off the very first year in 2014, 2-0. So exciting stuff. That's one reason to become a Yote. Number 1, we're interested in a winning program. And so we don't shy away from our desire to win. Yes, we want to be a program of integrity. Yes, we want to be educating our guys. Yes, we want to do all sorts of things that add to the substance of the program, but we're all about winning. It's not win at any cost, but it's a win along with doing everything right. So I think, again, that sets us apart. I hope that sets us apart. But I think that there's something to that competitive reality that you have to be in it, be willing to prepare, outwork, and then outperform your opponent. I think that's invaluable to young men. Get coached. Yours truly there. I think the coaches have to be all in with what we're doing. And I think I've been fortunate to have a number of very, very fine young men and a few older ones who are really helping us do something special here. So, but coaching is important. I'll get into that a little bit later. I think that's a big part of the building process. My experience has helped me a lot. I was a career assistant at UC Davis, and so my playing experience, my coaching experience, I learned a lot. I coached a lot of different positions. I think I have a way better feel for the game than when I was simply just a quarterback and a quarterback coach. So I've enjoyed, and I've always said, I'm 63 years old, but feel like I'm about 29, and just so energized to learn, to work with my staff, to work with the players. And the day that I'm not enjoying learning and improving myself will be the day that I retire. I think we're on track. I love being successful, and I love being a coach. We've had some great honors with our guys, a bunch of All-Americans. Here's a couple that are listed. You see that bottom slide there with 12 academic all-district picks. Had a bunch of academic All-Americans, and I think that's what the College of Idaho was all about. We've also had some guys, so there's our quarterback again in the middle, Darius James Peterson. I believe he was the best player in the country last year. So Yotes fans got a great opportunity to see a real talented guy. Up on the top is Kyle Mitchell in the middle there, hitting his 57-yard field goal at the buzzer. So we've had some exciting wins too, and all those memories begin to add up, and it's means a lot to these young guys. Had a young man from Colfax, Washington, Josh Brown, 6'7", 215 pounds when he came out of high school. And we thought for sure that he'd get a shot in the NFL with his size. He grew to 6'7.5", 300 pounds. And again, there was 20 different teams came through Caldwell and watched practice and watched Josh and interviewed him, and just what those scouts do. They leave no stone unturned. But I think Josh was really a victim of the COVID. It affected a lot of guys who were on the bubble who might have gotten a shot. And I'm very, very disappointed for Josh. He was a great part of our program, a 4-year starter, 2-sport guy, also was a track performer in the shot and discus, and a great young man. Number 3. So it's win and get coached. And now number 3, enjoy the Treasure Valley. I think the Boise Valley is incredible. And I think there's so many things. So we sell this. We have a hard time, for instance, selling this to people from the East Coast or people from LA or Orange County or San Diego. Idaho seems like it's just way out in the sticks. But more and more, the city of Boise and the Boise Valley is becoming very, very popular for lots of different reasons. For sure, the outdoors, but the city of Boise itself is awesome. It's very accessible. And then there's more and more things popping up. The city of Caldwell is, it's really, really, really on the way up. I think the Mayor Nancolas and the city council, the police, the fire department, and so many community members are literally remaking Caldwell into a real destination for people. So it's very, very exciting to be here. I do think that the college and the college football team has assisted in that, and I take great pride in that and hope to be able to assist more in the future. So the football team, the recruiting pitch is, if you come to the College of Idaho, you're going to be part of the community. You are going to help us change the community, better the community, be involved in the community, help in the schools, help at the rodeo, help at various things, help with various community service projects. And so it really, really is exciting that the community has embraced us as well. And that's one of the other points that we'll get to. So we're still on the uniqueness of the Boise Valley.
So Mike, why would a young man consider BSU over the College of Idaho?
I think great. And I think we have to recruit against Boise State in this sense that if they're offering a full scholarship to a young man, he's probably going to go to Boise State. And frankly, we would even encourage him to do that. That's a great opportunity. But Boise State also recruits a number of young men who, what they call walk-ons, who they don't give any football scholarship money to. We can give that young man, we don't give full scholarships at the College of Idaho, but we do assist with football scholarship money. So we can make it financially worthwhile for the young man, but then it's all a matter of what they want. I think the chances of playing at the College of Idaho for such a young man are much higher. The chances of having a big impact are much better at the College of Idaho. And I would say that the education is better and the chance for significant employment is significantly better. So those are kind of our pitch to guys. The college, I wouldn't say it sells itself because it's a small liberal arts college, but I think there's so many components within the college that make it advantageous to attend. Some people it's a small private school. College of Idaho is a small private school. Boise State is a big public school and much less expensive than the College of Idaho. But in my experience, I used to be at a big public school, UC Davis, one of the top 10 public academic schools in the country. But I would say the College of Idaho far exceeds UC Davis in terms of academic preparation for the future.
Do you have an academic minimum GPA the team needs to maintain?
They have to stay, it's pretty minimal to stay eligible. To stay eligible, you have to have a 2.0 GPA of your continuing college work. Now back to the recruiting, we are not able to recruit anybody with under a 3.0 GPA in high school. So those are kind of the baselines, but we are interested in the best of the best, and also nurturing and mentoring the best to be even better. So what do I mean by that? We're always looking for the best students to get in. For one reason, they get a higher academic scholarship. In terms of pushing guys to be the best, that's all back to, do they fit in here? Are they going to toe the line academically? And one of the key things for me is, are they academically motivated? Are they academically motivated to not just get by, but to be great? And if that's the case, I'm willing to go to bat for a kid. So I will routinely, if a kid's, let's say a kid's a 3.1 GPA, so he's down near the cut line, so to speak, or even a 3.0 GPA, I will want to talk to his counselor, at least one of his teachers, somebody else that knows him on campus, whether a principal, a vice principal, and of course the coach. But I want to get to know that guy. I want to know what his ambitions are, because I don't want to, one, set him up for failure. Two, I don't want to set us up for failure. But what I enjoy is finding that guy who's in and around a 3.0, who I know can do a lot better, and he shows the signs of he has it in him to do better. So I have loved the guys, that everybody that I've coached, but I can think of a number of guys who are 4.0 and as smart as you could possibly find in the country, whether at Davis or C of I, and they continue to do great things. But I'll say this, the most satisfying to me are the guys in and around a 3.0 GPA, and then they figure it out with the help of people, coaches, instructors. C of I has a great group of instructors. There's academic support. And once they figure it out, it's a beautiful thing to see when they've changed. They've grown up, and it's exciting.
Kind of ties into the if the college faculty does support your program.
I think on the whole, absolutely yes. I think over 50% of the students on the C of I campus are student athletes. So the faculty, that's just the nature of the College of Idaho. And I think the faculty's gotten used to it. They are not always super excited when we're traveling on Fridays and have to miss class, but they've been very, very, very understanding. And I, again, back to that, my academic credibility, a professor can call me anytime if they have any concerns about any student for whatever reason, and I welcome those calls. And they do call. And so I believe we're all in it together. We're all into developing young people. And so great question. And I would say C of I is off the charts supportive of athletics, and talking about the faculty members now. And so I want to assure them that I may not be the best in the country, but I'm in the top 10 in terms of supporting the academic mission as well. So it kind of works both ways, and I think we're doing some great things here. Moving on. Treasure Valley is a beautiful place, great place to be. Okay, quality education, just what you were talking about, Marie. The college is spectacular, and we sell that. When guys come to campus, we have them meet with professors. Professors aren't really used to the recruiting process, but they get more and more involved, and it's been good. So I utilize 10 or 20 different professors to meet with students in various fields, and they could better talk about education, but I spend quite a lot of time talking about education because, again, that's part of the fit, is wanting to be the very best football player, but also wanting to be the very best student and also wanting to be the very best person. So that's the academic side. And then we show the campus. I don't think we have a picture of the new library, the new $40 million library. That may be another topic someday. And then lastly, play for number 5 of the 5 reasons to come play for the Yotes. Play for a national championship in front of the best fans in the NAIA. So this is just another opportunity for us to celebrate the community that we live in, the support. I do think that we've just scratched the surface. I've talked to a number of people and alums, and I think someday we're going to be playing for a championship and there'll be 7,000 or 8,000 people there. And at a stadium like Simplot Stadium, 4,000 or 5,000 people feels like 30,000 people, and it seems like the whole community is there, whether in the stands or the beer garden. So for the students out there listening, you can always go down to the beer garden, which is in the rodeo, and the rodeo guys, or Caldwell Night Rodeo Board of Directors, is very, very supportive. They sell a number of cups of beer at the Yotes football games, and it's really, really a lot of fun. They're down in the west end zone, and we have a great time. So it really is unique in small college football to have this kind of community support. And I'd say even different than a Boise State or a Notre Dame or a Alabama. I tell our guys all the time that you're going to be part of the community. You're not just going to be adored and put up on a pedestal as a rock star in the community. No, you're going to be part of the community. These people in Caldwell want to treat you like their own kids. They want to have you over to dinner. They want to have you come over and mow their lawn. They want to just hang out with you. They just want to get to know you and see you develop over the years. So that's another one of the unique traits of the College of Idaho that, again, I just think we're getting to the barely scratching the surface, but I think we're doing some great things. The other thing I want to do is have our older graduates and business people from around the community mentor our student athletes, so that by their 2nd and 3rd year, they're beginning to think about the future a little bit. That's just a good thing to do, I think.
So what about for this year, this coming up football year? What's on the docket for the games?
Well, there's no games this fall. The first game, or the next scheduled game, is February 27th. We are we're practicing presently in small groups. We hope to be in bigger groups sooner than later. And then we'll go till the first week in November, and then we'll come back in January and then start training camp February 4th. And then our first game will be February 27th. So talk about a inverted crazy year. We'll be playing football games the last week in February and through the month of March and April. So that's the plan for this year.
Okay, so 2021.
2021, and we could have 2 seasons in 2021. So anyway, here's a picture of our facilities. We don't have the most cushy facility, but it's very, very solid. The locker room and that whirlpool and that training room, as you can see, that's part of the Marty Hawley Athletic Center, which was a $7 or $8 million building that they raised the money from private donors before I got here. So the plan You know, my hat's off to Marv Henberg and Marty Hawley and the Board of Trustees and many, many people who, and Buzz Bonaminio, who, with many others, had the vision, and I can say they did it right. So I really benefited from what they did in those groundbreaking foundational years, even before I got here. And there's the Marty Hawley Center. And then we have a great weight room. We do a great job with the gear. We're talking about 18-year-old guys, so they're interested in what the helmets look like, what the jerseys look like, where we're going to train, all those sorts of things. So that's all part of the recruiting process. We're sponsored by Under Armour. I think they give us a couple hot dogs each year, and then we wear their shoes and jerseys and stuff. But it's been a fun ride with them. They service us very, very well. Just some other pictures of some of our great guys over the years. And there's the 5 reasons: win, get coached, enjoy the Valley, quality education, best fans in the NAIA.
So you're taking, when you look at it as these are 18-year-olds and they are still in their formative years. So they're there maybe till they're 21?
Yeah, usually they're getting close to, they're 18 or 19 when they show up. So they're 21 or 22 when they leave.
Yeah.
So it's very formative years. Very, you know, they aren't deciding to come because of what's in the biology curriculum. There may be 2 or 3 that do that, but they're figuring that out as they go. All they know is what they may see on Twitter or on Netflix, but they're great human beings at the same time. They're like the way all of us were when we were 17, 18. They're working hard and they're not understanding everything that's coming down the way at them, but they're just making the next best decision that they can. We like to assist them in that, and it's fun and refreshing, to be perfectly honest with you. It can be frustrating at times because you know, maybe a guy here and a guy there has been dissatisfied because he doesn't have his favorite number to wear on his jersey or something like that. So young people are a lot of fun to be around. So I love every minute of it. So moving on, this is one of the next things. So beyond recruiting, what I demand of my coaches is that they are teachers, and not just teachers, but master teachers. The one thing about football that I think sets us apart educationally is there's proof of quality teaching every Saturday at 1 o'clock. I think it's important to note as a teacher, I tell my coaches all the time that you can't say you're a good teacher if there's no results that prove that you're a good teacher, if there's no results on a Saturday afternoon. So we teach, we prepare, we empower, we impart sophisticated detail, as you say, regarding our plays, which is what scheme is, our particular plays. But we have to teach guys. We have to figure out what makes them tick, how they learn. And we do a lot, probably more than all the other sports combined. We're in the classroom all the time. We're using all sorts of methods, from video to PowerPoint, to have them read, to show them, to walk through, to demonstrate, to get specialists to come in. And we meet with the players on a regular basis for probably at least 5 hours a week. And in the COVID world that we live in, we're on Zoom meetings with them most every day. And believe me, these guys want to be taught. So we just have to be the best teachers. So we have to be careful that we know our stuff. That's what I tell the coaches. Never BS the players. They can read through that stuff. If you don't know the answer, say you don't know the answer. It's okay to always be, as a teacher, to always be learning. Again, I said that earlier. We're spending time this off season and the extra time that we have in the COVID studying NFL teams. Not all of them, but a few of them who do some things that we're particularly interested in. And then we dissect that and we watch frame by frame, and then we try to implement that into what we are doing. It's not just, hey, you got a good play that works? Hey, let us throw it in there. We aren't drawing plays in the dirt. It's very, very technical and very, very sophisticated about the way we go about teaching. And we want it to be interesting. So we have to keep young guys, their train of thought can be easily broken. So we have to be as exciting as possible. So that's teaching. Teaching is critical. And then the game time, the preparation for the game. Coaches do not play. I don't care what the coaches know. I care what the players know. And that's, again, that's what shows the quality of our teaching. And then freedom is a big one. Freedom is big in our society for the very best people in whatever profession they're in. Freedom to me in this context means not afraid to fail, not worried about making a mistake, but able to play full speed and let the chips fall where they may. Now, I quickly want to add that fits with everything I've said before, the teaching and the instruction and the practice and all that. So you're not just doing whatever the hell you want to do. You have to do it the way I want you to do it. But you're doing it in such a way as you are owning it. You are full speed ahead. But it's a big part of preparation, a big part of coaching to get guys to the point where they're not worried about failing. To succeed big, you have to be willing to risk big. And so that's what we're asking these guys to do. We're asking them to sacrifice day by day. And I think they appreciate it. It feels good. It feels good to be part of a team and working together. And we have really, really enjoyed the group of guys that we've had, and we like our present group. We feel like we're still going to be pretty darn good. We'll be very young this year. We graduated a number of great players, but to make a program great, you just keep on building. You just keep on growing. You keep on motivating the guys that you have and recruiting new guys. So presently, we're practicing, but we're also recruiting for next year's class already. So that's it in a nutshell. That's what we're trying to do. That's what we work 10, 12 hours a day, 365 days a year to build a college football team. So if there's any other questions, please let me know. That's all I got for today.
So do you feel it's a different technique to build a college football team, just looking on the flip side versus how an NFL team is built?
Well, my real concern isn't college versus NFL. My real distinction is between a college football coach and a Division I football coach. And by all means, it's different. My job is to develop young men, to empower young men to be great while they are here and afterwards. And I think sometimes that's compromised at the Division I level. And you can see the evidence of that is they pay the coaches millions of dollars, and then if they don't win enough games or enough games that a booster may want them to win, they may be fired in 1 or 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't get paid millions of dollars. And 2 years ago, we were 0-5 at the midpoint of the season. And I'm sure there were some people, because it's the culture of football, that were probably saying, hey, maybe Moroski isn't the right guy for the job. And we'd lost some very, very close games. I knew that we were getting better and better. I didn't know what the future held, but I did know our staff, I knew the players, and I knew that we were working. We ended up winning the last 6 games that season, and I think that was the real turning point. But in context of this discussion, there is a trickle down. In football, it can be win or go home. Win or you're going to be fired as a coach. But what I'm interested in as a college football coach is the developmental aspects of the program, so that the program is stronger when I leave than when I got here, and is getting stronger and stronger and stronger. My goal is that the College of Idaho football program is around for decades and decades and decades, doing similar things, hopefully some better things than I've done. So that's the, and it's a fine line there. So I'm not, there's lots, like I said, lots of great people at all levels of coaching in college football. But I'm just all about the empowerment, the motivation, the seeing young guys succeed and turn into young people that will benefit all of society. So that's my mission. And along the way, to win a bunch of football games.
Before CMI, were you a college coach, or is this your first college coaching job?
It's my first head coaching job.
Head coach.
So I was an assistant coach for 27 years at UC Davis.
Yeah.
So I've been in the game a lot. And as I mentioned, UC Davis is a very academic institution. When I played there, we were Division II non-scholarship, and we evolved in my last 10 years to a 1AA program, which is, we have some scholarships and mostly partial scholarships. Any other questions? Buzz, are you there? What questions do you have?
He's got his mute on.
Hey, Buzz, if you take your mute off, you can tell us what you think. Oh, we lost him there. Sheena, do you see any other questions there?
There he's back.
No, no questions. I think he's done a terrific job telling people what it's all about.
Yeah, I think the story here is exactly how you put it, of building young men to be an overall good person, period. People you can be proud of. And I know that just even with Buzz, the men that he has been part of their lives and what he is, what they have become, have so much to do with the coaching. So your story is like inspiration, that it's about helping people become better in life. That's what we're supposed to do, no matter what career they choose.
Absolutely. And it's a lot of fun. I don't want to, it's not like I'm hating life coming here. I love my staff to love to come to work. And again, we feel like we have the best jobs in the world. So it really is a lot of fun. But I do think there's some real particular things to doing it right and being serious about it and treating people well and involved with the college and then having some integrity on top of that.
Well, we're happy that they chose you and you chose Caldwell.
Well, thanks so much. Yep, having a great time.
It's been a win-win situation. Personally, knowing that the college football team there is growing and getting the reputation is back. So there you go. We're happy about that.
There you go. Yep, I'm happy to be involved. That's for sure.
So Sheena, if you want to send out that link,
Okay.
or is it, then
And,
we
I was asking if there were some questions over at Garden Plaza, but it looks like there aren't at the moment. I actually, it's interesting how many people might be there watching, so I wanted to know that. But anyhow, let me put the link in here real quick, and final questions.
Mike, just to let you know, we have recorded this whole presentation. So
Right.
if you ever want to see it or pass it on, we have it in our AARP files now. So we appreciate your time in putting this together, and we're going to post this where other people from our community can get into it and take a look at it at another time also.
Sounds great.
And also I wanted to let anyone know that if you do pull up the survey link, that would be great. There's going to be it's very short, a couple of questions on how things went today, and that we want you to continue to participate throughout the rest of the classes. And Mike, we want to thank you so much for giving us your time and your expertise. And the story you told is, to me, very enlightening. So I thank you for that.
Okay, thanks, Marie. Thanks, Sheena.
Thanks
Appreciate
so
it.
much.
Okay. Appreciate everyone. Have a great day.
Okay,
Bye-bye
you
now.
too.
Thank you.
Just close her. Great, awesome. Thanks, dude.
Good job, Coach.
See you, Buzz.
Bye.
Bye.